July the 5th, 1965, marks the beginning of a new campus for Fairleigh Dickinson University. From now onwards, American students will be able to pursue their studies of English literature and history in what is probably one of the most historic and picturesque parts of England. The site chosen for the college is Wroxton Abbey in the county of Oxfordshire. Wroxton is surrounded by countless places of interest. Windsor, which stands on the River Thames and is the home of the royal family, is only 60 miles away and a short distance from London Airport, Britain's principal air terminus. Set in typical English countryside and just 8 miles away from Wroxton College is Sulgrave Manor, the ancestral home of George Washington. In 1656, his great-grandfather emigrated from this house to Virginia. To the north of Wroxton is Coventry with its modern cathedral, and only 16 miles to the west is Stratford-on-Avon, the birthplace of William Shakespeare. Once a week, students from Wroxton have the opportunity of seeing a wide variety of the world's best plays at the famous Royal Shakespeare Theatre. Oxford University is only a very short distance away, either by a pleasant coach trip direct from the college or a short train ride from nearby Banbury Station. Here, students from Fairleigh Dickinson University carry out their own special research programs. This is the setting for the International Conference on Higher Education held at the time of the dedication of the college. 250 university delegates representing 19 nations and 21 learned societies attended. The buildings viewed here are of New College, Trinity College, and the Sheldonian Theatre, where degrees ceremonies are held for Oxford University graduates. The conference opens with services in New College Chapel, which houses art treasures such as this El Greco. The Lord Bishop of Oxford officiated at the chapel exercises. Afterwards, the distinguished procession makes its way to Rhodes House. The Mace Bearer carries one of the 3 English maces to be found in the United States and brought back to England for this great occasion. In the procession were delegates from the older countries, such as the United States, Great Britain, Canada, Liberia, the Netherlands, and Belgium, as well as many from the newly formed nations, Korea, Taiwan, Ceylon, the Sudan, Saudi Arabia, Thailand, and India. Delegates from over 200 American colleges and universities made a special trip to attend the conference. Inside, Dr. Peter Sammartino, president of Fairleigh Dickinson University, opens the conference and introduces the first speaker, Dr. Arnold Toynbee, the historian. Dr. Toynbee is completely at home with his audience and afterwards enjoys a chat with some of the delegates. Other speakers addressing the delegates include Dr. Norrington, Pro-Vice-Chancellor of Oxford University. Mr. John Paul Getty, the oil industrialist, seen here as he receives his Fellow of Wroxton College certificate. Dr. Rochfort Weeks, Chancellor of the University of Liberia. And Dr. William Paddock, Head of Latin American Affairs of the National Academy of Science. In the evening, guests settled down to dinner in the great hall of New College to round off the first day. Sir William Hayter, head of New College, and Dr. Sammartino preside at the traditional high table. The next day sees the delegates on their way from Oxford to Wroxton, taking in the town of Banbury with its central monument and the setting for the old nursery rhyme, "Ride a cock horse to Banbury Cross." Arriving at Wroxton village, 3 miles from Banbury, visitors see the quaint thatched roof cottages. Nowhere could there have been chosen a more picturesque setting for learned activities. The main feature of this memorable day is the blessing of the banner by the Lord Bishop at Wroxton Church. He was assisted by the Vicar of Wroxton and the chaplain of Wroxton College. Never had this venerable and ancient church held so many distinguished visitors. As the third and last day of the conference draws to a close, the great hall with the minstrel gallery above is the scene of a splendid occasion. Delegates to the conference and specially invited guests start to arrive for the grand climax, the banquet and ball.
His Majesty King Umberto.
As the bonfires begin to fade, delegates reflect on the history of Wroxton Abbey. At the time of the American Revolution, Lord North, Prime Minister for King George III, retired to his ancestral home at Wroxton Abbey after the defeat of Cornwallis. It is symbolic of the unity of England and the United States that now an American institution, Fairleigh Dickinson University of New Jersey, should establish in Wroxton a college for American students specializing in English literature and history.